Well, #1 Jordan Spieth is looking to go back-to-back in the Valspar Championship this week, returning to the venue that launched his unforgettable 2015. Spieth physically is at Innisbrook, but mentally, there is a piece of him at Augusta National.
I go in the closet and I see the jacket or I see the garment bag. It says Masters Champion 2015. It's like, that's mine. And then I'm like, oh shoot, I got to give that back. Oh wait, let's try and get this back in our hands, you know?
I'm Brian Bateman. Just where does Jordan Spieth rank among the favorites at Augusta National? We'll reveal our top 5 Masters contenders.
Plus some changes made here at the Copperhead course at Innisbrook. Find out how the pros are saying it could affect play this week at the Valspar Championship.
This week, the snake pit, well, it'll bite the best players in the world, but is it the most difficult stretch of final holes on the PGA Tour? Find out our favorite finishes coming up on Golf Central.
Golf Central. Brought to you by Titleist.
Jordan Spieth checking out the Copperhead course at Innisbrook on Wednesday, just outside of Tampa, Florida. Spieth picked up his second PGA Tour victory here a year ago in a dramatic playoff. After that win, Spieth went on to a record season that included 2 major victories and the FedEx Cup. The world #1 looking to successfully defend on the PGA Tour for the first time in his career.
Excited to be back. I was actually watching a bit of the rerun last night with Michael, kind of the playoff. It was just pretty exciting to watch. We had a few tough up and downs on the last few holes, made some putts, and then ultimately knocked a long one in the playoff, and really got a nice jump start to closing out tournaments in 15, and it continued throughout the year. And yeah, a very special place.
Hi there, thanks for teaming it up with us here on Golf Central. And Jordan Spieth watching Golf Channel last night in that rerun, sitting beside 2 men who have played inside the ropes on the world's greatest tour, and that is Brian Bateman and Tripp Eisenhower, guys. And in 2015, wow, what a Valspar Championship it was. We're going to go back in the time machine and show you this great ending. Here's Sean O'Hare in the clubhouse at 10 under, and Patrick Reed trying to get to a playoff with O'Hare.
Yeah, the red shirt, the familiar red shirt on Sunday usually leads to victory, and Patrick Reed fist pumping his way to 10 under par with that beautiful birdie putt.
You thought that was a great reaction? Watch Jordan Spieth also try to get into a playoff.
Yeah, 40 yards short of the green, chipped up to 11 feet. This is to get into the playoff, and he does.
So Jordan Spieth, Patrick Reed, Sean O'Hare, all going to a playoff. We go to the first playoff hole, and this is Patrick Reed in a tough situation.
Yeah, was this a fried egg, a poached egg? I don't know. It's a tough egg to swallow. There's no doubt about that. But what does Patrick Reed do? That's a sensational shot just to have a putt at par.
And Jordan Spieth now has this putt for birdie and the win, Brian.
Yeah, same link punt he made on the 18th in regulation. Just didn't take enough break.
One of the few misses last year for Jordan Spieth. Now Reed to save par to stay in the playoff.
And remember, he got a playoff win over Jordan Spieth, and, well, he keeps the playoff going for him with that par putt.
That's right. That was his first win in Greensboro. Second playoff hole now. Here's Reed from behind the green.
Really one of the best short games on tour. Tremendous hands out of the thick rough. Not an easy shot. Tap in for par.
And Sean O'Hare, the veteran, has this putt for birdie and to win to beat these young guns.
Oh, by the way, it's a 3-man playoff. And we see Sean O'Hare. Now, he won on this golf course in 2008, so what a great look at birdie and a great putt. Just didn't go in.
We move now to the third playoff hole, all 3 in it. Here's Jordan with that great moment.
Over the ridge, tough putt right to left to win the tournament. Perfect speed, perfect line. Slams the door.
We have an event as exciting this week as we did in 2015, then we will have a fun event. And forget about his accuracy, forget about his putting. The biggest strength in Jordan Spieth's game, his mentality. He is always prepared, and when things start to peak on the pressure meter, this 22-year-old handles it with calm success. Today, Spieth talked about what he thinks about when the heat is on.
In the biggest pressure moments, the negative thoughts have started to dwindle out of your head. The stuff that wants to creep in, like, oh, what happens if this and that? When I think back on it, that's what's kind of started to go away, and it's more, there's the line I need to hit it on, there's the gates on the putt, or here's the shot. You know, just more of a focus and less of a kind of negative noise. And it's natural with anybody to have negative noise. I'm not saying I still don't have it, but it's certainly shifted towards more focus. And the more times you get into that position, I imagine it'll continue to be so. But that's where I think has been a big advantage, is I can now look back on other extreme pressure situations where we've had success. And before that, it was, 2014 was a rough year on the PGA Tour season until the end of the year, because every time I was in that situation, there were a few good shots, but at the end of the day, I wasn't holding the trophy. And now I can look back on those exact moments that led to having the trophy in your hand, and that's really cool.
Take a look at this amazing statistic. Before the Valspar Championship last year, well, Jordan Spieth was doing well. After that, he had a career 6 victories. You see his scoring average there, 12 top 5s in just 24 starts. And that is why he is number 1 in the official world golf ranking. All right, guys, this is simply put to both of you. He's 22. He's 22. But Tripp, how does he handle the pressure, those really intense moments so well?
Yeah, the thing about it is, it's so rare to see the athletes that learn so quickly, and I think that's the big key. I mean, these athletes in junior golf, in college golf, and going through the process of becoming a professional golfer, you fail more than you are victorious. There's no question about it. But the key is not at least doing an honest assessment of your game and quickly changing it. Jordan Spieth masters that. You hear it time and time again from Jordan Spieth, the maturity in his answers. And part of that maturity is recognizing what he did wrong, and then he corrects it. And that's rare. And that's, I think, what happens to players, Brian, when they get under pressure. We saw it from Tiger Woods. I mean, he did fail sometimes. Everybody remembers all the success, but he learned so quickly from it. Well, Jordan Spieth is repeating a lot of those things.
And I think some of the issues he's had this year was the lack of success, if you will, besides Kapalua. He's not making the putts. I do think, and I heard him say earlier in the week, that success breeds success. The more time you're in the position, the more chances you have, the more chances you're going to have to win. But when you do win, that helps you the next time and the next time and the next time. And I think he's modeled himself after Tiger Woods, who really had no problem at all winning for 15 straight years.
When you spend some moments with Jordan Spieth, you immediately realize that this is a 32-year-old head on 22-year-old shoulders. Yeah, maybe 42. And just over a week ago, Jordan Spieth made his second trip to Augusta National to do some scout work, but also to enjoy walking the grounds as the current Masters champion. Spieth said hearing members and the staff call him champ was a dream come true, and it also served as motivation for him to repeat his Masters performance next month.
There are certainly moments that still pinch me moments. Certainly on the grounds, but then anytime I have the jacket with me, and so I go in the closet to grab something, and I see the jacket, or I see even the garment bag, it says Masters Champion 2015, something like that. It's like, that's mine. And then I'm like, oh shoot, I got to give that back. Oh wait, let's try and get this back in our hands, You sit there and you're like, I don't want that thing to go away. It was fun having it with me this last year. I don't want it to stay on the ground. So it's pinched me and it's motivation when I look at it. But certainly on the grounds, and you go in the champions locker room and there's the wedge and there's a picture of the shot and kind of a summary of what happened last year. That's really, really cool to see.
Winning back-to-back years at Augusta National, only 3 guys have done it. Jack Nicklaus did it back in '65 and '66. Faldo also did it. Those two, Nicklaus and Faldo, in the World Golf Hall of Fame. Tiger Woods, he's going to be in the World Golf Hall of Fame. He's the last to do it in 2001, 2002. If Jordan can do it this year, yeah, he's going to be in the Hall of Fame as well. And, everybody talks about right now as we come to Florida, the PGA Tour, that players are making their run to Augusta. And obviously there's a lot of incentive for Jordan Spieth. How do you think he's doing right now in his run?
Look, Jordan Spieth is going to be ready for Augusta. He's going to be ready to defend. He joins those lists with Tiger and Jack repeatedly for a reason. And we talked about him learning. And I want to go back to 2014 and the year that was and how quickly he learned from it. He was on David Faraday on Monday. And listen to this answer about Jordan Spieth. And when we speak about his maturity, well, it is amazing.
I was doing the right things, and then I'd let one mistake bother me more than it should have because I just wanted it so bad. I didn't let it come to me. I didn't have the patience to say, this round's going to be is going to feel like 2 or 3 rounds of golf in one, just understand that each 6 holes is almost like a round of golf. You got to approach each with the same patience that you would have for an entire round, and understand that this scoreboard is going to change. It changes every round. You play a round out here with Bubba Watson, 18 holes, our scores are going to change significantly throughout the round. Just be the one that's on top and be the one that takes advantage when he's on his heels.
And the thing about Jordan Spieth, he said in that interview it was the hairline that gives him the maturity. No, it's not the hairline. It's what's inside that head. And that ability, it's just amazing. It's rare, and I mention it time and time again for a reason. But Jordan Spieth, Augusta National, he'll be ready. But you know what? If you look at his game right now, Brian, you might see a few holes in it, but he can fix them very quickly.
Well, he's got plenty of time to do it. He's got, 4 weeks left before Augusta National. He has the experience from last year. I think the next few weeks, he'll probably go up there maybe a few days early. He's got the match play coming up. If he can get his putter straight. I mean, remember last year, guys, he made so many putts from 20 feet. Seems like all year long. He knows the greens as well as anybody. He's got a lot of confidence going in. I wouldn't be surprised at all to see him play well at Augusta.
You're going to play match play, likely going to play Houston as well. As he was in a playoff last year, if you remember, and Johnson Wagner also in that playoff, J.B. Holmes winning. So a lot of golf left for a lot of players, including Jordan Spieth. Don't miss part 2 of David Farady's interview with world #1 Jordan Spieth that Tripp was talking about. Hear him recall what went through his mind at St. Andrews as he continued his chase for the Grand Slam. It's all new Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern, and it's only right here on Golf Channel. Before driving down Magnolia Lane next month to defend his Masters title, Spieth is looking to successfully defend his Valspar Championship this week. Now, this is a course that Spieth seems to enjoy, with 2 top 10s in 3 starts at Innisbrook.
It's a difficult golf course, which it's, I think, in the top 5 normally most difficult non-major golf courses of the year, which is great preparation for the majors. Anytime you can play a challenging course, it requires patience. It requires allowing the course to kind of come to you, take chances in certain specific spots instead of being able to just fire away. So that helps. The greens are very different from Augusta National, so I wouldn't call anything similar in that category. But tee to green, it's very important to place the ball not only in the fairway, but try and hit it on the correct sides of the fairway for angles into these smaller greens. Augusta National has big greens, but they're almost in different sections, so almost a few different smaller ones, where it pays to be on different sides of the fairway. So mapping out each hole is very similar.
Now, amongst non-major venues on the PGA Tour schedule, Innisbrook has been one of the toughest, 8th on the PGA Tour as far as toughness goes last year, 4th the year before, 3rd the year before that. And we're right in the middle of the Florida swing, and this golf course so unique to the other 3 golf courses in the Florida swing. What do you like about it, or maybe not like about this?
I love everything about this guy. Yeah, I love it. It's one of my favorites. Clearly on tour, you ask a lot of the players that play here. Of course, they're going to have it in their top 5s as well. And the reason why is it's not the typical Florida golf course. It's got some elevation. As Jordan said, it does have the small greens. This year, yeah, they've been facelift a little bit, brought more back to the old size of the greens because of the mowing patterns over the years. But a difficult finish, 16, 17, and 18, of course, called the Snake Pit. But as far as shot values go and what you need to do at this golf course, it is everything that you're going to need at Augusta, because you need a great iron game. And if you look at the champions, they have hit their irons beautifully each and every year.
I played this event for many years, and this golf course is just hard. I mean, it's very traditional, one of the very few traditional golf courses we have left on the PGA Tour. Everything is right in front of you. A lot of dog legs on this golf course where you have to drive it well, you have to shape it off the tee. But remember, with the new green surfaces that they have this week at Copperhead, the green's going to be firm. And if the wind blows like it normally does at Innisbrook, getting the ball close to the hole could be difficult.
Yeah, you mentioned that there have been some tweaks to this golf course. We're going to detail those in just a moment. And of course, they have the Snake Pit, 16, 17, 18. And the Snake Pit sounds the most dangerous, but is it the toughest finishing stretch on the PGA Tour? Our guys combed through the courses to give us their thoughts. Plus, the azaleas aren't far from being in full majesty at Augusta National. Who will be in full bloom on the golf course? Our current favorites to win the Masters coming up on Golf Central.
Golf Central is brought to you by
The Titleist 915 drivers, distance without compromise.